be informed that the story you are about to hear is a unique blend of actual events and fictional elements. The narrative has been crafted in such a way to vividly convey the essence of the events that transpired. It is important to note that the names of the plantation and individuals mentioned within this tale have been altered to protect their identities and maintain the integrity of the story's fictional aspects. We invite you to immerse yourselves in this captivating journey, where reality intertwines with imagination to create a compelling and unforgettable experience. We hope you enjoy the story. The Truth with Dr. Ruth. Whose truth? Dr. Ruth's. Chapters 1. The Haunting of Misery Plantation. Once upon a time on the sun-soaked island of Barbados, there stood a plantation by the name of Misery. It was a place shrouded in shadow, and whispered tales of the past, where the land bore witness to the toil and suffering of generations long gone. The plantation was home to Ella, a young girl with 8 siblings, who knew all too well the terror of the haunting that plagued her family. For as long as Ella could remember, the ghost of an old sea captain with a peg leg had haunted Misery Plantation. Each night, the sound of the peg leg echoed through the corridors of the old plantation house, sending shivers down the spines of all who dwelt within its walls. The ghostly presence filled the air with a sense of foreboding, its unseen eyes watching over the inhabitants with an eerie intensity. Ella and her siblings grew up in the shadow of the ghostly sea captain, their days filled with whispered stories of his tragic past and the curse that bound him to Misery Plantation. They learned to live with the haunting, to steel themselves against the fear that gripped their hearts each night, as the sound of the peg leg drew nearer. One fateful night, as Ella lay asleep in her bed, a sudden chill filled the room, causing her to stir from her slumber. Opening her eyes, she was met with a sight that froze her blood in her veins. Standing at the foot of her bed was the ghostly figure of the sea captain, his weathered face twisted in a grimace, his one good eye fixed upon her with a gaze that pierced her very soul. Ella tried to scream but no voice came. She tried again, and then in a loud scream from the pit of her stomach it bellowed out. Ella's father, awakened by her screams, rushed to her room, his heart heavy with concern. By the time he reached her room, the ghostly figure of Captain Blackwood had already faded away into the darkness, leaving behind a sense of unease that lingered in the air. Taking Ella into his arms, her father comforted her as best he could, his voice steady despite the trembling of his own heart. "Fear not, my child," he whispered, "we will face this together as a family. Let us gather your siblings and seek refuge in one room where I can protect all of you." With a sense of urgency, Ella's father called out to his other children, guiding them to the designated room where they huddled together, seeking solace in each other's presence. The children clung to one another, their eyes wide with fear as the night descended upon Misery Plantation with a weight that seemed to press down upon their very souls. As they sought comfort in the safety of their father's arms, the house around them erupted in chaos. Loud noises reverberated through the corridors, the sound of slamming windows and doors echoing like thunder in the stillness of the night. The very walls seemed to groan with the weight of the haunting that surrounded them, filling the air with a sense of malevolence that sent shivers down their spines. In the midst of the turmoil, Ella's mother, a woman of faith and strength, called out to her children, her voice a beacon of calm in the storm. "Children, let us gather together and seek solace in prayer," she said, her words a balm to their troubled hearts. Gathering around their mother, the family bowed their heads in prayer, seeking comfort and protection in the embrace of their shared faith. The words of the prayer rose up like a shield against the darkness that threatened to consume them, filling the room with a sense of peace and unity that pushed back against the haunting that surrounded them. And a calmness descended upon Misery Plantation, the tumultuous noises fading into the background as a quiet stillness settled over the house. In that moment of shared strength and unity, they found the courage to face the night and whatever trials it may bring. And so, with hearts united in prayer and courage, the family of Misery Plantation stood together in the face of the haunting that plagued their home, ready to confront whatever challenges lay ahead with a steadfast resolve born of love and faith. Please tune in next week for Chapter 2.